That is the prime point of our human efforts for peace and happiness of this country. In Europe, in the south of France, we have a Gohonzon for the peace of Europe. Prime point for all the European members. Again, every so often, we go there, and perhaps together with people from Denmark and Scandinavia or France or Germany, we have the opportunity to practice to the prime point, which for us represents the future peace and happiness of Europe. And through those meetings and gatherings, this practice together in front of that Gohonzon, this discussion of life and all its problems, freely and frankly, over the restaurant table or wherever else, friendships are established, founded on the prime point of the Gohonzon, which are really the fabric of Causton, the fabric of the peace of Europe as a continent. Then, the foot of Mount Fuji, exactly where Nichiren Daishonin willed it to be, is the Daigons, the Gohonzon for mankind as a whole, the place where I or you can go and chant every so often and meet with people from all the countries of the world, very nearly all the countries of the world. Prime point, if you like, of unity, the unchanging, constant reality of life. Because what else is Buddhism preaching but the unbelievable treasure which is life itself, the dignity of life. The dignity of life which is represented on that Gohonzon. Life with all its amazing workings. So, just to conclude, I want to briefly mention a principle which is called in very simple words in Buddhism, Ku, Ke, and Chu. Ku, Ku, Ke, Ke, and Chu, Chu. Because I think this principle brings out very clearly the vital importance that the Gohonzon plays, not only in our own lives, but also in the lives of the human family as a whole. So if you look at this world at the moment, you see an incredible amount of progress, which is unbelievably haphazard, isn't it? Everywhere you look, amazing things are being invented. People are shooting off, into space. Incredible technological advances are being made all around us. And it's so haphazard and so fast that it's really beginning to frighten more and more and more people. We wonder if we're really in control of all this. And when we think of nuclear missiles and all the rest of paraphernalia of nuclear warfare, it makes us shiver even more. We think of the one man who can press a button and start it all. And we say to ourselves, supposing he was crazy, a madman, someone couldn't stop him, etc., etc., etc. So this is quite frightening to everybody. There isn't anyone really now who doesn't at times think, I believe, about this point. Very quickly they may hide their heads from it, but there are few people who don't recognize it. So this haphazard, though you could say dynamic progress, is arising out of the spirit of man. Ku, Ku. Ku stands from the unseen or the spiritual aspect of all things. And then, on the other hand, you have man's natural desire. I'm sorry, I said the wrong word. K-E. Sorry, the physical aspect, which you see manifested in all these technological advances. But then, on the other hand, you have man's natural desire to want to harmonize with each other. No one really wants war. They may get swept away by emotion and get involved in war in no time at all, but they don't want it. In their hearts, they want harmony. In their hearts, they want to be able to get on with their daily lives, conducting their business or their teaching or whatever, in peace. This is the real desire. Even the most bloodthirsty revolutionary, even the worst of terrorists, even the most maniacal of these extremists that exist in the world have some sort of great high ideal which they say they're working for, even though they may be undermining that ideal in the way they do it. Everyone desires peace and harmony. So this desire from deep in one's life is Ku, from the unseen part of the world, the unseen part of life. So there you have these two extraordinary phenomena. On the one side, a world going mad with technological and scientific advances, with absolutely no cohesion at all, with the risk of war or violence or conflicting effort every day. And on the other side, you have man and woman's innate desire for harmony and peace. And man and woman has always desired harmony, and they've never been able to achieve it. Not once in the whole of human history in a lasting and deep way. Why is this? What is missing? How can you have two extremes in this way, arising out of a social or civilization created by human beings who are clever, unbelievably clever? You only have to look at their technological advances to see that. How can it be that they can be so crazy? This was what the Buddha observed, of course, in the world. So he didn't see that as it is now, but he knew what was coming. Shakyamuni Buddha 3,000 years ago said, this age of Mappa, which will begin 2,000 years after I die, will be an age of chaos and disaster, in which there'll be a great unhappiness. Shakyamuni Buddha, like all the Buddhas, understood the workings of the law of cause and effect. He knew the potential in each human life for destruction. So we have this situation today, and something is missing. And that thing I firmly believe with my whole life is what in fact is the link between all things unseen or spiritual and all things seen or physical, which is the law of life itself, which is Nam-myoho Renge. If you look at nature, you don't see this going on. You see amazing things occur. Fantastic natural advances in the way each myriad form of life grows and develops. What is more amazing than that? But yet, incredibly enough, this unbelievable myriad of life forms, of natural occurrences, works in harmony. It's only man, with his own free will, his own ability to think and judge, who is not working. And this is because mankind does not understand that there is a link between those two aspects of life, Ku and Ke, the spiritual or the unseen part of life, and life's physical manifestation in all the myriad phenomena we see around us. And that linking point, which exists and which you can prove to exist in nature, is Chu. C-H-U. Chu is Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Chu is the Buddha state. The Buddha state, which is vitally progressive and dynamic, and yet at the same time, totally harmonious. Chu is represented by the Gohonzon of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, which Nichiren Daishonin inscribed. Therefore, if you bring your life back to the prime point of Chu regularly throughout one's life, day in, day out, then you will always come to the path of the middle way, the path of balance, the path that is in no sense a compromise, the path which is a path of dynamic advance with total harmony. This is what Chu is. This is what the Gohonzon of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo represents. This is what exists in every single human life, yet sadly, we can't see it and don't understand it. And this is what Nichiren Daishonin worked to reveal by inscribing the Gohonzon. So I think I've probably said enough. Thank you very much indeed for listening. There's 5 minutes left, so if anyone wants to ask a question, please do so. Thanks very much indeed in advance. Thank you very much. Thank you. Has anyone got a question sort of burning? Anything particular? Yes. Can you speak up a bit? Oh, I see. Yes. You mean I didn't mention it? Oh, thank you very much. Yes. Sorry, that's the high priest's signature. The high priest who inscribes the Gohonzon signs it to the left of the character Nichiren at the bottom. I'm so sorry. And you couldn't read it from back there, I guess. Okay. Any other questions? Yes. Oh, I think that I would say that's rather extreme. The evolvement of nature is harmonious. Of course, it's true that for various ages and various climates, certain creatures exist. But the evolvement of nature is such that those evolutions are always keeping pace with the changes in the environment as a whole. So, of course, brontosauruses don't live today, but brontosauruses couldn't, in the very nature of things, live today. So brontosauruses die, but they're replaced by something else. So there's a constant process of evolution going on, isn't there? Oh, that may be so. But I guess we've got a long way to go yet. And the most important point is we have a purpose in life. I mean, even a brontosaurus had a purpose. Even, a small insect has a purpose in the rhythm of the universe as a whole. Also, we, in our present form, have a purpose in life. Maybe in billions of years to come, this planet called Earth, like all physical things, will blow itself up and die. It's bound to come to an end, Buddhism would say. So whether human beings are still in their present form, all those billions of millions of years ahead, I can't guess. But what I'm sure of is that left to the normal nature of things, human beings will evolve, and their replacements, if there are any replacements, will evolve in a similar way. So, for example, Buddhism doesn't deny that life can exist similar to our own on many planets in the universe. The universe is boundless and endless. So, what Buddhism would say is that wherever the circumstances are similar to this earth, then by the law of cause and effect, a similar form of life must appear. So it might not be quite the same sort of life as we know it. I mean, we might find that the people who were equivalent to us who lived on another planet, due to slight variations in climate or other food and so on, they may have 10 toes in each foot instead of 5. Or, their eyes may be situated round here instead of here or something. But nevertheless, it would be similar. And especially the unseen state of their life, the spiritual side, would be working in a similar way. So I think nature evolves completely harmoniously. I mean, one of the earliest words in Buddhist teachings from Shakyamuni Buddha was, everything is in flux. The whole universe is constantly changing. The only thing that doesn't change, Buddhism would say, is Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. But that change, left to itself, is harmonious. But man, due to his stupidity, the 3 poisons we call it, stupidity, anger, and greed, man, due to those 3 poisons, causes poison, pollution, exhaustion of natural materials, and so on. Left to itself, I think nature is amazingly harmonious. Maybe you don't agree. No, that's right. Yes, but the point is we can, but we don't. That's the trouble with us. Great, thank you very much. Okay, well, it's just about 9 o'clock, so we better close. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for listening, and come again. Thank you. Thank you very much.